What's up, you guys? This is Persia 007. This is a very upsetting rant toward Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen is the To Catch a Predator TV journalist that has done a story on YouTuber Onision, and he had many victims come forward on his To Have a Seat with Chris Hansen YouTube channel. I've already told you guys this before. And I got a little upset with him because he turned this into a cash grab for him. He made a documentary out of these victims, excuse me, in which the documentary is now being viewed in the United Kingdom as I speak. The documentary consists of 3 episodes. I don't know how far apart they're going to be viewing these episodes or premiering these shows, but Chris Hansen, I think, done this to better his own finances. There's got to be a way he's making money off of this. He can't be saying he's not making any money off of this. And I'm going to call him a narcissist also, just like Onision. Psycho brat out of New York State. You want to call Onision a psycho brat? You're a psycho brat for blocking me on Twitter, you little jackass of a fucking journalist that got canned on MSNBC for causing a DA district attorney's suicide in Murphy, Texas. How about that? I hope to God you do not severely affect these victims in which they feel like they have been used. Because from what I've read on this documentary, that nobody's making any money off of this. But somehow I think you are, because I put a tweet out to you about having to pay for this damn Discovery Plus bullshit, $4.99 a month or $6.99 a month premium service. I should have known your show, your Onision in FBI investigation was going to become a paid show. I would have never watched you to begin with. You are a disgrace. I hope you never come back on TV again. I don't ever want to hear anybody talking about Chris Hansen again on YouTube, or you will be bashed beyond recognition verbally, because I am sick and tired of people like Chris Hansen getting away behind everybody's backs, especially some of the victims, and doing a show without certain consent. I dare for him to make a response to this video, whether I'm famous or not. Which I'm already losing subscribers on this jackass channel anyway, so it really doesn't matter. As long as I get the damn views, I guess it doesn't matter whether I have subs or not. Because I expected to get to 400 subs, and I guess that never happened. And, but, yeah, guys, you talk bad about Chris Hansen on Twitter, you will be blocked. And, you know, I think, again, I still think it's wrong to make a documentary on a alleged predator that has not been convicted nor sentenced in a court of law to prison. And I think this Onision with the real life is just a cash grab for not only for the network to make money off of Onision, but for Chris Hansen to make money off of Onision and Discovery at the same time. He ought to be ashamed of himself. He ought to be ashamed that he has no idea what he could do to Onision, what Onision is capable of doing. In the delusional mind he has. Hell, Chris Hansen, you went to his fucking place in Seattle, Washington, you didn't get nowhere. He called the cops on you twice. That was the dumbest move you've ever made. You and that damn Mike Morris. And that Mike Morris sure kept his lawyer ass out of it. Mike Morris works up in fucking Detroit. He does not work in Seattle, Washington. Mike Morris could stay with this fucking car accident lawyer bullshit. So, I don't know why. And then you had a freaking Vincent the Culture that turned out to be a piece of shit that threw the investigation under the bus when he's supposed to took Sarah's computer to the FBI and it sat in your guys' office for weeks. And here you go, dictating what we could say on Twitter to you about this so-called show that you apparently produced or had produced behind our backs, your viewers' backs. We were watching your predator shit on your channel, watching this Onision investigation, hoping for some point of him being arrested. You gave us false hope on that. And I don't even think there's even an FBI investigation that's even going on this 35-year-old man, because he's still a free man in his house in Washington State. And no, COVID-19 is just an excuse. The police would be at his door if he had child pornography on his computer or anywhere on his devices. That includes Kai. And if he had any lewd content on his forums, they would be busting that door down to begin with. And I think you know that. I think you, Chris Hansen, I think you're nothing but a clout chaser. I think you just jumped on a bandwagon just to get back on television because you disgraced yourself on MSNBC back in 2007 when you had the unfortunate suicide of DA or a district attorney that became an alleged predator on perverted justice for one of your predator stings in Murphy, Texas. I'm glad MSNBC got sued for that because, in my opinion, some of this is entrapment. In a way, you are protecting people from online abuse, but, you know, when it calls a suicide, then I think it crosses the line. But I don't understand why you have to be so critical. Why you had to block me on your Twitter account when I didn't curse at you or anything. I didn't threaten you. I just don't like the fact that I got paid to watch a fucking Onision documentary on which this man has never been convicted nor charged of a crime that you're alleging that he committed 4 crimes of. You're alleging he committed human trafficking, enticement of a minor, online grooming, and violation of the Mann Act, which is transporting a minor across state lines to have sex with him. You claim that he was going to get charged with all 4 of them, and he's never been charged yet. And here you and Discovery Channel making what I'm going to call a fictitious documentary that's can't even be proven that he's even done these sexual crimes. I mean, yeah, the victims are going to tell the stories, but how long ago is it before it's too late? You know, really, is this Onision thing a little bit too late? Because Greg or Onision committed the abuse against Shiloh 9 or 10 years ago. Sarah, her abuse apparently started in, when the hell was it? 2016 until 2019? Was that a little bit too long ago? Why are the police not looking into this investigation? Why are the FBI not knocking his door down? If he did something wrong. Right now, I think what he did is not moral. I'm kind of siding with Keemstar on this because he ain't been charged. He ain't been convicted of a fucking crime, and yet you drag a fucking lawyer from the state of Michigan that works up in, I think it's in Detroit, does cases for car accident victims, and you somehow get him twisted in this predator investigation that he has no part of. I don't know if you're trying to bring him into the limelight on YouTube just to get his podcast out there or whatever, but he's already got a law firm. He does not need YouTube. Mike Morris is just something you use to hype us up all year of 2020, and here we are in 2021, thank goodness. Happy New Year, but now I wish I knew you blocked me back before New Year's Eve, then I would have done this sooner, but I'm not happy at all. I think you scammed everybody. I think this is a cash grab for you. And I think everybody that was hoping for there to be an outcome in this case, I've been very disappointed. Now, whether I won't call this documentary some form of justice for the victims, no, it ain't. It's just getting the story out there. It's not no form of justice. But I think this is going to be the only justice these so-called alleged victim, Shiloh, Sarah, Billy, are ever going to get from Onision, is to get him canceled. That's about it. That's you, Chris Hansen, trying to put Onision behind bars. There better be a damn case on that. There better be some fucking hardcore evidence that you can prove, that you can get the state to find on his YouTube channel, on the Internet Archive, wherever these old Onision.net forums are found, and see what they have to say about it. Because right now, Sarah was let down when she sent her computer off to be sent to the FBI, and it's got sat in an office for 6 months, and then it got sent back to her with apparently everything still intact on a hard drive. All the alleged child porn on there, stuff to do with Kai and all this other stuff on that computer. And apparently all three of her, her laptop and 2 phones were never even looked at, or maybe you guys looked at it or whatever, and you probably thought, well, there ain't nothing on them, so we're going to send it back. But you know what? I don't know. I don't know if the victims came forward too late, or maybe Onision's right about all this crap. Maybe there is no evidence to prove, and there is no case. I'm starting to wonder if all this is just going to crash and burn after this documentary comes out. Jesus Christ. That's one thing I hate about social media. I can't be critical with anybody without them silencing you, with saying what you're blocked on Twitter, you can't, or you're shadow banned on YouTube, or you get a strike on your channel because you do something offensive, or you upload copyrighted material, whatever it is, even though you edit the damn videos. You know, Chris Hansen, you don't need no followers on Twitter anyway. I think you ought to take your Twitter account down and just, you want to go back on TV, go back on TV. Don't fucking bring your shit on YouTube at all. We want to watch your catch a predator. You're doing predator stings out in fucking Detroit. Advertise that in Flint, Michigan. Don't bring that shit on your channel. Goddamn. Anyway. I want to wish everybody a happy new year on here. I've had a very good New Year's Eve. I watched the ball drop. So far, my New Year's is pretty damn good. This is what, January 3rd, the 3rd day of the year, and nothing's gone bad yet, other than what I just found out now. Chris Hansen blocking me on Twitter, which I kind of expected him to do anyway, because I was fuming over this documentary. I just can't believe this turned into a show that I have to have a credit card to pay a monthly payment just to access this streaming service or this website, just because it has various channels, whether it's history or Lifetime or whatever it is. I don't care about watching Dance Moms. I don't care about watching Desperate Pawn Stars. All I care about is about this 3-part documentary series about this Onision, to see what is actually going on. But, you know, I'm going to still have hope in you, Chris Hansen, that there is what you claim a Federal Bureau of Investigation, or I should say FBI is investigating this Onision, and the local police is investigating this Onision, and the state police are investigating Onision. Because I tell you what, this turns out to where there are no investigations or whatever, you have probably done the most worst thing that a con man could ever do. And you have already proven that you have uh, been unfaithful financially by writing a bad check to a company that I think it was over what $10,000. You try to do a Kickstarter program on your, I think it was Patreon or something called Hansen versus Predator Kickstarter, and you failed, and then you try to write a bounce check to fulfill your duties to your subscribers that subscribe to you, and they earned perks that they have actually paid for, and then you were supposed to send them out, and then apparently you didn't have the money to do it, and then you got into a little trouble, got arrested, which made your ass look bad again for writing a bad check, and yet you're a true crime reporter. Come on. I think your days are I think your days on the net are done. I think your days catching predators are about over. You know? I just don't understand what Mike Morris had to do with any of this Onision stuff. I just don't understand why you would hire somebody from across the three lakes up in the state of Michigan, way up north, to help defend these victims when really you should be finding a lawyer out in the state of Washington where the abuse occurred and not up in Detroit, Michigan. That's what I would have done. I would have found a legal aid or legal attorney to help these three girls that came forward about Greg or whatever, and start a civil case in the state of in Seattle, Washington, not in Flint, Michigan. You know, I just don't know. If I could ask Mike Morris tonight that, I would ask him personally, why were you involved in the Chris Hansen's investigation of Onision when this abuse occurred in the state of Washington and the city of Seattle, and yet he's getting you from way up in Michigan into Detroit or wherever you are, Flint or Detroit, Michigan. You have nothing to do with Onision. You have nothing to do with that jurisdiction. Your jurisdiction is in Michigan, not in Washington State. So you had nothing to do with Shiloh. You had nothing to do with Billy or Sarah at all. He just wanted a lawyer just to make himself look good, to pretend like he's doing an actual story or whatever the fuck this is. Well, I hope all the NTOs get a laugh out of this documentary, and whatever happens to James Jackson, Gregory Jackson, Onision will be foreseen. I'm sure he's going to lash out on Twitter. He's going to make all kinds of videos probably within this week or next week about this thing that's supposed to come out tomorrow, which I think has already been released right now in the UK. We've already got an NTO watching it in the United Kingdom now, and he or she may already be done watching it by now, the first episode. So I don't know. I guess I'll keep track of all the NTO Twitter feeds and see what they have to say about this documentary. But again, very disappointed in you, Chris Hansen. I think you're just in it for the money. I think you have caused yourself so much financial trouble, and you didn't only disgrace yourself. I think you disgraced your spouse. You disgraced your family, and you have disgraced us all, and me personally. And I sure hope you turn back now. And maybe if you're going to go back to TV, go back to TV and do it the right way, and not try to use the YouTube platform and bug famous YouTubers just to harass a YouTuber that you think has done horrible crimes, that has been done 10 years ago that may most likely not be able to be proven in a court of law. So, again, this is all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, comment. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe on this one because I don't want no subscription on this video. I just want this video to be viewed. Don't ever take a journalist for his word. They're there to make a story. They're there to either make money on the story. They're either there to get a story out. And if they're saying they're not making money on the story, most likely they are. How do you think tabloids make money on celebrities like Aaron Carter, Ellen DeGeneres, and dead celebrities like Michael Jackson? You know, come on. These tabloids make money. Chris Hansen makes money on Onision, and Onision is having a laugh at it all the step of the way. So, guys, good luck on the so-called Onision doc, and maybe I'll watch it, maybe I won't. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure it's going to be a good show. I'm sure it's going to be good for views. It's going to be good for all the drama channels. It's going to be good for all kinds of live streams. Repsion's going to jump all over it. And I don't think anything's going to come of it, but we'll see. So anyway, good night and goodbye.